Are there aspects to your day that you feel as if you're just, checking the box? Do you ever strive to reach out of your comfort zone, become uncomfortable, and level up? Privileged to be your host, this is Jason Wabick. Now, let's uncheck the box. A fabulous day to everybody out there. Again, my name is Jason Wabick, host of the Uncheck the Box podcast, where today we spend another week continuing our journey together in the quest of being the best versions of ourselves that we can be. Happy holidays, everybody out there, as we start to inch closer this week to a new calendar year. In preparation for that, today's episode is titled Start, Stop, Keep. What the heck do these three words signify? Well, I'll be frank with you. It was going to really be titled, it's not about as much about starting things you know you should be doing as much as stopping things that you shouldn't be doing, right? And I kind of got deeper into this rabbit hole that I usually get into as I'm doing research for episodes. And that's the beautiful part about this, everybody, is that I'm able to grow and get better myself. And I learned actually it's three dimensions, right, that we can and should be focused on. And so we'll get into that in just a little bit. But as we turn this calendar year, a lot of times, we sit back and we create these New Year's resolutions, dare I even say, and a lot of times they fall off. And there's reasons for that. And so today we're going to spend, again, a couple minutes just talking about us reflecting on ourselves, our new year, knowing the things that we want to start, knowing the things that we want to stop, and certainly focusing on those things that we need to continue to keep doing. There's this quote, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." And it's so powerful, everybody. We can say we are somebody, or we can say we want to be this ideal person, but when it's all said and done, we are what we do, right? So that's why, going back to those New Year's resolutions, we say a lot of things, right? We want this to happen, want that to happen. We want to be better here. We want to be better there. We want to go to the gym. We want to work out. We want to lose weight. Whatever it is, it's all talk until you start doing it. And then when you start doing it, it's about continuing that process. So let's take a moment to set the stage for today's topic. Couple key points. Planning is going to be something we're going to talk about today. Every good desired outcome has a plan. How are you going to get there? Again, we're going to focus on the destination or the journey. Every destination has a journey. What does your journey look like? Starting something new might also include stopping in other areas and maintaining and keeping and staying the course in others. Everybody, watch out for redundancy in your start, stop, and keep goals. For example, a start goal might be, I want to start working out at 5 a.m. Then don't go ahead and say, I'm going to stop not working out at 5 a.m. Little redundant there, everybody, okay? So create a stop goal that's more like, I'm going to stop hitting the snooze button at 5 a.m. Or I'm going to start going to bed early so I can wake up earlier, right? Everybody, writing things down is going to be key. Writing things down is the gateway to taking a thought into formulating a plan, executing the plan, and then ultimately getting the result. But it starts with taking whatever is up in that mind and getting it written down. We'll break that down a little bit. And lastly, small executable action plans are going to be key to achieving those goals. You start to see results and you feel that sense of accomplishment. So, everybody, let's start doing. Let's take a peek at this, okay? Let's start doing. Sometimes the thing we don't want to do are the things we know we should be doing. I've said it multiple times throughout this past year. Again, it's that important. I'm going to repeat it. Sometimes the thing we don't want to do is the thing we should be doing. Everybody, you just have to commit. Like we just talked about, writing things down will help you in that commitment process. You make an intention real. It is no longer a thought or just an idea. It becomes the execution of an action. Scheduling allows you to make the best use of your time because, everybody, it's so true. We only have a finite amount of time. Writing things down also declutters the mind and allows you to prioritize on what's most important. So, everybody, easier said than done, right? So start with 5 minutes. Everybody can do anything for 5 minutes. Ever view an activity that you didn't want to do as a huge mountain? So big that it actually prevents you from actually trying to start to climb it. Versus it being a molehill, being much smaller, allowing you the ability to tackle whatever it is that comes your way if it's small enough. So do anything that you perceive to be very difficult, do it for 5 minutes. Then go up from there. How'd the first 5 minutes go? Do another 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, it won't feel as bad, and it'll get easier. Back earlier this year, I had an episode. You can look back at it on time management. And there's this technique out there. You can Google it. It's called the Pomodoro technique. And they talk about doing any one activity for 25 minutes, actually. 5 minutes is for those extreme cases that's really difficult getting going, right? But same concept. You can do anything for 25 minutes when you're looking at a workday that's maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. After 25 minutes, take a break. Check your emails, check your voicemails, get up, stretch, walk around. How's everything go? Assess the previous 25 minutes, and then maybe you go back in for another one. Everybody, time is just an excuse. We can't create more of it. You and I both have the same amount. What are you going to do with the time that you have? Is it going to be filled with procrastination, or is it going to be filled with taking action? Doing, another important part of doing, have an accountability partner. Could be a coworker, could be a best friend. My friends, you're not in this alone. Ask for help. Have this person hold you accountable. Say, listen, I want to start doing this. This is my plan, and all I need you to do is just be all over me. Check in with me, making sure that I stay on the straight and narrow. All right, everybody, stop doing. Pillar number 2. It's pretty self-explanatory. I think deep down we know some of the things we probably should stop doing. But take inspired action after self-assessing. We're going to, again, commit to writing things down. Probably a good idea would be, write all of these 3 sections down on a sheet of paper, right? Write what you want to start doing and write down what you want to stop doing, and lastly, the things you want to keep doing. But when you're writing it down, take inspired action after assessing. Some things need to be cut out, everybody, and others might only need to be cut back. There is a difference there. Not everything needs to be cut out. Everything in moderation, right? It's what keeps us human. It's what keeps us going, right? Guilty pleasures, got the candy here, or whatever it might be, right? So, listen, yeah, sometimes you don't need to full-blown cut out, but cut back, absolutely. Either way, you're cutting somewhere. Stop doing as often. Listen, there's this rule, it's called the Pareto's rule, that 20% of our activity gets us 80% of the results that we desire. The goal is to cut back where we can. So I'll give you an example. If your goal is to cut back on housework, and we have a dog that sheds, right, and runs around, and, definitely the house needs to get cleaned. But we want to cut back on housework, right? So maybe we look at it and say, okay, I've got to vacuum and I have to dust every week. This is what I'm doing right now, vacuuming and dusting. Well, if I stopped vacuuming, this dog would probably put myself in a worse off situation when it comes to the cleanliness of our home. But if I stop dusting for a week, maybe that's not as drastic. So I'm going to go to vacuuming every week because that's going to require the most amount of attention to give me the best results that I want. But maybe I go to dusting every other week. So again, I'm putting in 20% of my efforts to get 80% of the results. If I dusted every week, I'd get closer to 100, right? But I'm at 80, but I'm working less. So read that analogy out there, and I thought that was pretty good to describe that Pareto's rule. And sometimes when we have to cut back, we have to recognize that we're not cutting back in the wrong areas. Things to stop doing are bad for our mental health, physical health, and or professional health. So take a deep dive, everybody. Realize anything is possible if you have the desire to drop it. That you're patient enough to hang in there and committed to the process, and you work hard enough. So just understand that. Assess everything. Is it working for you? Is it working against you? And what is it that you need to do? Make the decision, trust the process, be patient, hang in there, and work hard. And it will pay dividends, I promise. And lastly, the third pillar, everybody, keep doing. There's this quote by Newt Gingrich. Perseverance is the hard work that you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. Okay? So just keep doing. There's two meanings here. When I was really kind of pondering this thought, I came up with like two internal meanings to keep doing. The first internal meaning, keep doing what you know is working and what you know how to do already. Don't second guess yourself and overthink things. Sometimes we don't need to overhaul the process. It just might be that easy, so trust the process and keep doing it. Sometimes we know what we're doing. Sometimes we're confident in our actions, but we just don't get the results because maybe it's just not lining up. So don't second guess yourself. The second meaning I took away was keep going with what it is you still are not good at. Okay? Because over time, it will get easier the more you throw yourself into those uncomfortable situations. Again, going back to where we started this episode, we know we should be doing it. So keep going even though it doesn't feel easy, or it doesn't come easy, should I say, and it doesn't feel comfortable. Another thing about keep doing, honor your strengths, everybody. What are you good at? What comes natural? Is it helping you achieve what it is you want? Then honor it. Honoring yourself will ultimately build confidence. And again, it goes back to that whole assessing. For you to be able to honor yourself, you have to first off take a self-analysis. So give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself the confidence necessary to keep going. Everybody, accentuate your weaknesses. Lean into them and persevere like we've already kind of talked about, right? All right, now that we broke down those three pillars, some things to focus on going into 2022, time for some bonus time. Be present while doing all three of these things, everybody. This is your bonus today. Be present. When awareness exists, growth starts to take place. The past is in the past. Stop beating yourself up and dwelling on the past mistakes. It's already where it needs to be and to remain. You are where you need to be. You have learned and already moved on. So be present. When you come from a place of being, you bring awareness to every moment. Pay attention to how you feel. Be in touch with your senses. When people excessively dwell on the past or excessively dream into the future, they forget to be present in this moment where a lot of learning can be done. When you are present in the moment, It inspires you to take action in one of those three ways. It is the little voice that pops out of nowhere, speaks to you. It's your gut instinct. Reminds you, just be present and listen to me or it, that voice. Then trust yourself by doing, by stopping, or keeping on. It is our choice, everybody. We get to be intentional going into next year. So listen, I wish you all the best. And let's take some time this week to really put some thought, assessing this week into these three categories. And what is going to be our plan going into next year? Where can we better ourselves? Where can we cut? Where can we trim back? And what have we done successfully that we're going to keep doing? Everybody, listen, I appreciate you. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Finish 2021 up strong, everybody. And we will see you in 2022. Take care, everyone.